welcome back to Sophie's Sofa. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Liz Martino. This girl got me through middle school every single day. Definitely my best friend, and I'm so fond of her and her lifestyle. So she actually is pretty far right now. She's in Hawaii, living her best life because she left the 305 for the Coast Guard, correct? So she's gonna tell us a little bit about her life and how she ended up to be in Hawaii and all that stuff. So thank you so much for joining me on Sophie's Sofa, Liz.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first let's start off nice and simple. What happened after high school? Like, how did you know you wanted to go into the military, and how did you end up in Hawaii?
Well, basically, I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. So I had been going to college during high school, and I knew that I had no idea what degree I wanted to pursue. And I didn't want to keep going to school. I was really burnt out. And so my parents were like, hey, you know, when you turn 18, like, you need to start paying rent, and you need to get a job. And I was like, okay. So I was working at Planet Fitness, and I was like barely making $400 a paycheck. I was like, there's no way I'm going to, you know, be able to go to college, you know, pay rent and work at Planet Fitness. Like, so I was like, there's got to be a way, you know, I want to do something in my life, but I don't want to like commit doing something like college where I have to pay. So I was like, whatever, I'll just enlist. I had a friend who was in the Coast Guard, and I had seen his Instagram, and he was on a boat and he was traveling the world. I was like, wow, that seems super cool. So before I graduated high school, I would always be like emailing him because he was underway, like, hey, you know, like, tell me about the Coast Guard. Like, it's so cool, and I want to do it. And so my dad took me to the recruiter in Hollywood, and I just started the process there. And then 3 or 4 months after graduating high school, I went to boot camp, and yeah, then I ended up here, which was great. So
Did you get to choose to be in Hawaii, or how does it work, the location you're set?
So it's cool. So in boot camp, you know, it's funny that they even ask you this. So you get to put in like a dream sheet is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask you like a few questions, like what's more important to you, like unit or location. So you can ask to be on a boat or on land, and then you can ask to be like in certain areas. So there's like districts, right? The United States is like separated into districts. So
Right.
here is Hawaii District 14. I was like, oh my God, obviously I want to go to Hawaii, like, duh. So I wrote down like District 14, I want to be on this boat. My friend who I mentioned earlier, he told me like what to say and what to write. So I was like, I want to be on the 378 out of Hawaii, which was the Sherman, and whatever. So then like a few weeks later, you know, I was like reporting back to my company, and my company commander comes up to me and she's like, hey, do you know where you're going? Did you get your orders? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, congrats, you're going to Hawaii. You're going to the Coast Guard Cutter Sherman. And I was like, you know, but in boot camp you have to act like, you know, always like really like game face. I was like, I like, and like low key I was like exploding because like, wow, you know, I'm 18 years old and I'm going to Hawaii. Like, who would have thought? Like, this is exactly what I wanted. So I got really lucky. You get to put in like 5 picks, and you know, maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. And I think I got it because I asked for a boat. Nobody wants to go to boats, so I think they're like, oh, she wants to go to a boat. Like, she has no idea what she's signing up for. So I think that's why I ended up like being so lucky and getting to come here to Hawaii.
But so you said that you chose boat. How often are you on that boat, and how often are you actually home?
Okay, so that's funny. So actually now I'm not on a boat. This is like, okay, this part is kind of like even crazier. So I was on the boat for like 8 months. The way that the boat I was on, it's a 378-foot boat, and we'll go underway for 3 months at a time. So we'll do 3 months at sea and then 3 months back in port.
And what are you doing on those days at sea?
All kinds of things. Yeah. Like drills. The main like goal of like the reason we go underway is like for drug interdiction and migrant ops. So like we have intel that will like, you know, like the Air Force will be like flying over, and they'll tell us like, hey, you know, we think we see like a boat, and then we'll go like locate that boat and send out our small boats. And so that patrol, we actually did get like drug smugglers. We got like 30 bales of cocaine and like 7 detainees, which was crazy. Like loading that, you know, you're like 18 years old, like loading bales of cocaine, like 100-pound bales. It's crazy. And then like the detainees too, which is kind of sad to see because they're just like living in filth, and they're like, what are you guys eating, you know? And that's like the day-to-day thing underway. So I was there for like 8 months, not very long, because I was like, I want to go to A school, I want to make rank. So I went ET, and then I went to ETA school in California, and then Same
Wait, what
thing.
does ETA stand for?
ET, electronics technician.
Okay.
It wasn't ideally what I wanted to do, but my dad told me, like, you need to go and do the school that has the longest amount of training. So I did 18, it was 9 months. And then so after that, we got to put in a dream sheet again, and they give us a list of billets, and then again Hawaii was on there, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm going back. And so nobody in my class really fought me for it. They were like, hey Liz, look, you wanted to go to Hawaii, so there you go. And then I came back again, so this is actually my second time stationed here,
Yeah.
purely out of luck. Like, so it's been a good enlistment for an average person.
That sounds like you make me want to be in the Coast Guard. Not be able to handle it. But it's nice hearing you talk about it. So was it everything you expected? Was it better or was it worse than what you had pictured in mind?
So it's funny because you never really know with anything, you never really know what you're getting yourself into until you're there. Certain aspects of it are kind of what I expected, and then in other ways, like not really. I guess sometimes it does get overwhelming, like the amount of control they have over your life. So like you have to constantly, they always say like you're a coastie in and out of uniform. So like back then I just used to be really reckless, like do whatever I want with no consequences. But now, like even when I'm not at work, I always have to be like thinking like, hey, you know, if this were to ever get back to my command, or if somebody were to like see me doing this, could it get me in trouble? Especially like drinking, you know, because they're really strict with drinking policies. It's
I feel
fast to
like
get kicked out.
I feel like in a way that helps you kind of grow up and be more responsible, which is a good thing too. Like you need the balance of both.
No, I definitely agree. And that's kind of why I joined the military also, because at the time before like my last couple months of my senior year, like I was crazy. I was just off the wall, and I was like, I need to join the military because I know that when I graduate high school, it's only going to get worse. So that is actually why I joined, because I do like the discipline and like someone's holding you accountable at least. So that's good.
I like that. Yeah, that's definitely important too. So with you already talked about kind of your day to day, which is the most interesting part is when you were on the boat, obviously. But now, like on a day like today with the quarantine, is there anything you're doing military wise, or are you just kind of living your life in your little apartment in Hawaii next to a beach?
So like they would want me to say that I'm working. I mean, we're working. Right now my schedule is just 2 days a week. We go into work, and then Monday, Wednesdays, we'll do a Zoom, like a Zoom thing. And we'll just like check in the morning, and we'll like telework from home.
Yeah.
So we'll telework, but yeah, it's actually pretty chill right now. Thank God during this quarantine. Like I've actually never had this many days off in my life, except for right now during this quarantine. So I am actually enjoying it.
And it's a nice break. It's a nice refresher. So then you can come back stronger for sure.
Yeah.
Our little dog, which is the cutest thing ever, by the way. I love him. Copito wants to definitely be friends.
I know. I always think about that too. Our dogs would be so good together.
When you bring them to Florida, please. Okay. So what do you see yourself in the next 2-3 years? What are kind of your goals with life and with the military in general?
So right now, actually, this is probably like the most exciting thing that's ever happened in my life. Coast Guard has like a new rating. It's only 5 years old. It's the diver rating, but it's really, really hard to get into. Every year, there's only one time a year to apply, and they only pick like anywhere between like 3 or 6 people to like become a diver, but the process is really long.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I just finished my PT test actually yesterday to apply for the program. But to get into the program, like first you put in this packet, and then you have to go to a pre-screener, which is in Florida. And then the pre-screener is just like a week long of like rigorous PT to see like who's actually like committed to this, because it's just like mentally challenging. So like people will quit because it's like, this is way too hard. And then after that, if you get through that week without quitting, they'll select, you know, if there's 20 people, they'll select 6 people to actually go to the dive school, which will be next year in May. So I'm still really early in like the whole process, but like that's what I want to do. So if I get picked up for that, I'll stay in the Coast Guard for 20 years. It's like my dream. Like it's every single morning, like it's what gets me out of bed. It's like, it's sort of like what gets me working out every day. Like it's so fun. Like I could talk about it to everybody I meet. Like I think it's the greatest job in the world. So hopefully that works out, because if I could just be a Coast Guard diver, there's only one other girl. So imagine like being like so few, like one girl in the entire world in the whole United States Coast Guard that's a diver. So like I think it'd be super good to be like another female in there because, why not? Like, females need to have more presence in the military. So
Right. I completely agree. And I like how you say that it kind of wakes you up in the morning, because I think everyone needs something to look forward to in life. Like, no matter what little, smallest or biggest thing it is. And for you to have that, I think that keeps you accountable, because you're like, I have to work for this. Like, it's not going to just come to my lap. With like anything in life, you got to be like that. So that's super, super cool. I hope you get it. And you say that in the next, that'll make you be in the Coast Guard for the next 20 years. Would that be in Hawaii as well?
So the cool thing about diver is that there's only 3 billets that you could get stationed at. There's only 3 dive lockers, so it's Hawaii is one of them. How ironic. San Diego is another one, and then Virginia. So in reality, I could come back here, but I do think I'm ready to move on to somewhere else, because by the time I finish my tour here, I would have already been here for 5.5 years. And it's great, but at the same time, I know that I need to grow and experience other places, because I can't just stay comfortable forever here in Hawaii, because it's super easy to be comfortable here. You have everything, but I love California. I think it'd be great to live in San Diego or even Virginia. Like, why not? I'm not opposed to
And I
anything.
think California would be a good middle ground for you, because you want to go back for a week to Hawaii just for like relax. It's technically close by, and if you want to come visit your family in Florida, you're technically closer, So it's like perfect middle, and California is beautiful. So my best friend from college, she's from San Diego. She shows me pictures of like her house, like her backyard, and it's facing like the rocks where like the ocean hits. I'm like, this is beautiful, and that most of that area is like that. So I think it's kind of like Hawaii in the sense that you always you're close to a beach. So you would thrive there for sure.
Yeah, the coastlines in California are just sick. And I think San Diego is cool because it's more south. And you're so close to Mexico. Like, you could go to Mexico.
Her dad works in Mexico, in what's the city that's the closest by?
Tijuana?
Yes. So he literally drives there like every single day for work. And I find it hilarious. He's like, yeah, my dad drives to Mexico every day. I'm like, that's not a lot of people can say that. And you're Mexican. So it's like, we're part Mexican, right? So you're closer to your culture,
Yeah, and that's true, because that's the thing about Florida. Like, you can't just up and drive to another state, because we're like all the way south at the Panhandle, and then it's like 8 hours just to leave Florida. So I think it'd be cool to live. You're so close to Mexico. I think Arizona. I don't know geography, but like, you can drive. That's cool, because here you can't really drive, and in Florida you can't really just drive somewhere either. So like, I think it'd be nice. Like, it'll be something.
Right. I think Florida is good in your life is very good to visit, but I don't think you should ever settle down in Florida. I don't see you here.
Yeah, no.
We'll hang out definitely a lot more.
Yeah.
We definitely have to have a second one of these, because we're going to go more into depth about your life, because I just find this so interesting. Like, if it's not for an interview, I'm going to call you and ask you more questions, okay? But for right now, that's it for today, Sophie Sofa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to put her Instagram right under her, so you guys can follow her. She has the best stories, the most aesthetic pictures, so definitely go and check it out.
You're amazing.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye, Sophie. Love you.